in the Isle of Man, and I'm 28. Now, if you're born in the Isle of Man, you're very proud of your heritage, because it's actually an independent country. So, I'm not English, I'm Manx. I've got a brother, he's 4 years older than me, and he's a brilliant climber. So, well, I hope I get a little bit of my climbing experience from him and the rest of the family. When I was a little girl, I must have been about 4 years old. I was out with all my family, my grandparents, my brother, my mum and dad, and we were in this beautiful area of the Isle of Man, and it was a really steep hill, and I went flying down this hill. I was going so fast that both my feet came off the floor, and mum and dad, or I don't know, mum or dad, I'm not sure which, they managed to capture it on picture. Maybe I was in practice for gladiators. Obviously I went to school in the Isle of Man. I went to two primary schools. One was in a place called Oldcombe, a lovely little place. Another one was in Braddon. And then obviously off to senior school. But I must admit, I wasn't as keen as I should have been on lessons. I was obviously more into sport. My worst subject, I would say, was probably geography. That's why coming to over here, the Isle of Man is so tiny, so coming over here we have to travel lots of distances all through the years, so I get totally confused and I don't know where I am at all. My favourite will probably be, well, sport and English language and English literature. I started modelling, I started doing fashion shows when I was 14 years old because I was a very tall kid. So there's hope for you. Don't worry, if you're a tall, gangly kid, don't worry about it. You can do all sorts of things to make it. But yeah, so I started doing fashion shows really young. And then I did a course in business studies. So from that, I actually became an advocate's clerk and worked in conveyancing. During that period, somebody said, oh, why don't you go try for Miss Isle of Man? So I did, and I was fortunate enough to win. And because the Isle of Man's an independent country, it was direct entry into Miss World. So from there, a photographer saw me and said, come to London and do some photographic modelling. So I've been here ever since. A very famous photographer called Robert Mapplethorpe, and he took photographs of a woman called Lisa Lyons, who was an American bodybuilder. And she said that bodybuilding is an art form. It's called sculpting the body. And I thought, oh yes, I like the sound of that, so I thought, oh, I'll do that. So then I went into bodybuilding. And I actually watched the American Gladiator show for quite a few years now. I thought, that's for me. So an advert in a paper, it was in the newspaper, and I thought, right off. Sent a letter in, sent a photograph in, which my husband took, and Nigel phoned back straight away. Nigel's our producer, and he said, come and see me. I went to see him, went for the tryouts, and I was lucky enough to get through. I met my husband when I arrived in London, because he was a photographer affiliated to a model agency, and he wanted to take pictures of me, and we got on really well. I should probably imagine, because I later married him. Well anyway, we stayed together for a year, realised we really loved each other, and we got married. Now I've got a 2-year-old called Emily. She's reached the terrible twos, so she likes to throw tantrums, as all kids do, I'm afraid. And I don't know if they ever grow out of it, because I know I haven't. The only way I can handle doing a job, because I feel all these women out there who are holding down a job with kids, it's not an easy thing to do. What you've got to have is an understanding husband, and that's the only way I've managed to do it. And Mike, when I'm filming, will look after him. And I know he's having terrible time, so thank you, Mike. Couldn't have done it without you. To any of my Scorpio fans, I just like to say, girls or boys, if you want to go into something like gladiators when you get older, what I would recommend, please do sports and enjoy them. Don't feel forced into doing this or that at school. The main thing is enjoy. Enjoy your lessons. Enjoy playing football. Enjoy team games, and also enjoy your individual sports. And also, I'm afraid one of the worst things is you have got to cut down on the crisps and sweets a bit. Cut the top out a little bit. Not completely though. I mean, don't get the odd burger.
I was born in Bombay. My mother was Anglo-Indian, and my father was Dutch. He's a Dutch sea captain, and he was commissioned over there when he met my mother. I came to England when I was about 4 years old, and went to primary school in Sydenham and senior school there as well. I went to college in Downham before I went into work. I used to practice hang tough when I was young, and I had my own atmosphere, and I was very, very good in pupil sticks. I was together for many years with a Dutch person who was the same as my father. I have a little boy who's 5 years old, who lives in Ibiza, and I try and spend every fifth week with him. He speaks 5 languages fluently. He speaks Spanish, German, French, English, and Dutch, of course, it's his first time. Basically my diet's the same virtually every day. In the morning I have 6 egg whites, boiled porridge, a couple of slices of wholemeal toast, and a piece of fruit. And then my next meal will be some fish and some vegetables. The meal after that will be chicken and vegetables. And the next three is basically the same, either fish or chicken, and always vegetables. It's a high protein, high carbohydrate, very low fat diet. To keep fit, I like to rollerblade. I find it keeps me very fit without pounding the body as if you were running. I find it very good if I'm running up hills, builds my legs up, makes them very powerful and strong for gladiators. I also like to, in the winter season, I like to snowboard. If you're not familiar with it, it's surfing on snow. It's great fun, and you get a chance to be crazy in the mountain. We catch air, we do somersaults, we do crazy things, you know. And we take our skis. I don't like skis, I take them straight out of the mountain. I've always been a very sporting person, and when I was very young, I was exceptionally good at table tennis and I played with tennis. Later on, I got into bodybuilding, and I won the South African twice, the London Bodybuilding Championships, and a great achievement of mine was representing England at the European Championships. And now I'm doing gladiators, I decided to slim down, be more muscular and very, very fast, which makes me far more of an adversary for my opponents. Since I've joined gladiators, I've realised that we're an elite bunch of athletes who are so super fit, and it's nice to associate with other gladiators who are all exactly the same. We're all good at all the events, and I feel sorry for the contestants really, because they're just cannon fodder for us. Yeah, one of the funny things that happened to me on gladiators is when I took Roddy on the rings. Roddy's a gymnast, and I knew he'd be good. So I swam across very fast, and as I dived on him, I mistimed my jump, and I ended up around his body. Well, the inevitable happened, and I started sliding down. The lower I got, I hung onto anything I could, which ended up being his trousers. I carried on sliding down, and eventually his trousers came with me. And poor Roddy had to try and get across to the other side, with his trousers hanging around his ankles. I couldn't stop laughing off at the audience. People keep coming up to me mentioning the incident, who saw it live, or when you see it on television. Look forward to it, it's going to be really great. I like reading books on positive thinking, and since I have my own businesses, I read a lot of marketing books about aggressive marketing, and I like being aggressive.